Today I'm going to make lobster tails three ways. But first of all, I just want to give you guys an illustration of how to properly cut a lobster tail. All right, so I'm going to bring this forward for you guys to see. Let me just put this to the side. So basically what you guys want to do is you want to grab this lobster tail, okay, facing down. You want to get a good kitchen shear, okay? And basically what you want to do is you want to go right down the middle and you want to cut, okay? Straight down, okay? All the way till you get to the tail. You want to squeeze just a little, okay? Gently pull out the shell. Don't be afraid. And then what you want to do is you want to start putting your finger inside to release the meat. If you see that it's a little bit too hard, then what you do is it's kind of like a membrane that runs right down the middle. So what you want to do is you just want to cut just a little bit, but not to actually cut the meat. Just cut the membrane with the tip of the scissor, just like this, okay? And that will help you release the meat, okay? Now you want to squeeze, and you're gonna see that it's folding on you. So once that happens, then you just open up the shell, okay? Put your finger inside, don't be afraid, and start pulling the meat off the shell. So you want to use your finger as a scoop to just gently start digging in there. Then you start pulling the meat, okay? Put your finger inside and start doing like a scooping motion, okay, on both sides, okay? Then you pull the meat, okay? But not all the way. Then what I want you to do is, I want you to close this back and then just rest the lobster meat right on top of the shell, okay? Takes a little finesse, but you'll get it, okay? And there you go. So then with this, what you do is, you can make a nice little butter sauce, and you could dress it up however you want, and you could put it in the oven. I suggest 2 minutes per every ounce. This is probably maybe a little 5 ounce, so I'm gonna give it about 9 minutes or so, 8 to 10 minutes until it's ready. But in the meantime, hold on, I'll give you the butter sauce. See guys, I butterflied both lobster tail. In here I have some melted butter, about a half a stick. Just for okay, so I'm just gonna have just some chili flakes, chili powder actually. So I'm gonna do like maybe a half a teaspoon. Okay, store it in there. Smoked paprika because it has a nice, more smooth flavor to it. So I'm gonna do like maybe a teaspoon of that. If you guys don't have garlic paste, then what you do is you could get the garlic that's already minced in oil. I suggest you put it on a plate and with the back of the spoon, you know, just crash it or smash it, okay? And, you know, just try to liquefy it. So like that you don't leave the chunks out there and it won't become overwhelming. So I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of that in there. So I'm just gonna mix this bad boy up. And then a couple of parsley flakes. Just goes. I have the oven set at 450. This is what I say about lobster, whether it's a whole lobster, lobster tail, or whatever it is. If you're gonna boil it or put it in the oven, actually if you're gonna boil it, no more than 7 minutes. As soon as you hit the 7-minute mark, take it right out of the heat, okay? If not, it's gonna come out rubbery. If you're gonna put it in the oven under 450, depending on the size, most likely If you're not from the East Coast, you're only going to get like maybe 5 to 8 ounce lobster tail. Anything more than 8 ounce, you'll probably get it up in East Coast. But I suggest 2 minutes per ounce, no more than 10 minutes on the oven, okay? And then we just gotta just dress this bad boy up. And I'm gonna put it in the oven, and I'm actually gonna make an apple slaw with this. And I'm gonna serve it with a nice little apple slaw. It's gonna be 8 minutes, halfway mark. Pull out the oven, keep brushing it, and then brush it one more time just before you're gonna take it out the oven. All right, for the apple slaw, I'm just gonna do something simple. Less is better. Less is better. But I got some angel hair slaw here, okay? And this is how it looks, nicely finely shredded. But if you guys want to use regular slaw that comes with the shredded carrot and everything in there, that's perfectly fine. What I took was a red apple, nice little juicy one here, okay? Peeled the skin off, and then I shredded, still keeping all these juices inside there. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix it. This is about a half a cup. This one whole apple. Just gonna throw it in there. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Okay. Apple cider vinegar. You gotta have that vinaigrette on there. Okay. I'm gonna go with a quick 2 teaspoons of this. I'm gonna mix it all up. 1 tablespoon. And mix this up. All right, here you go, guys. So, the lobster, 10 minutes. Okay, brush with my butter sauce there. Okay, about 3 times. Don't be afraid to pull it off, okay? So it's still hot, but just grab the end or just wait for it to cool down. Okay, and just don't be afraid, just snatch it right out. Okay, grab and just pull. Okay, boom, comes right out. My apple slaw. Simple, it's good. This is my baked lobster tail with an apple slaw. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the remaining 2 and I'm gonna do the same cooking method. I'm gonna poach them this time. But one is actually gonna be for a lobster mac and cheese, and the other one is actually gonna be kind of like a lobster roll in a shell. So one more time, to make it simple. So these lines here are the membranes, okay? So what you're gonna do is, to make it easy for you guys, just take the tip, okay, and snap it, okay? And just go right along the side, okay? That releases the meat. Take the shell, straight through, okay? Open it up, okay? Put your finger in there as a scoop, okay? And release it from the shell, okay? Right from the bottom, pull it right out, okay? That's what you're gonna do. So I'm gonna use this and just pull it out. I'm gonna use this for the mac and cheese because the other 2 shell, I don't wanna cut down here. See, because it becomes too loose. Because I'm gonna use the shell and I'm gonna stuff it back in with chopped up lobster meat and some other ingredients and make it kind of like a in-shell lobster roll. All right? All right, so I have my potatoes boiling for my rustic mashed potato with the lobster. I got the water boiling here if I'm gonna have my mac and cheese. And I have some water boiling here. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to put the lobster tails in there. Okay, the lobster shells, all right, to cook any raw materials in there and to kill off any bacteria and stuff like that, because I want to reuse that, And I'm gonna make poached lobster. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking about 2 tablespoons of water. Okay? Then the butter has to be cold, so I'm gonna do a couple of slices, okay? And add 1 slice at a time. Stir this bad boy up. So I'm gonna do about a half a stick of butter, okay? But the reason why I'm doing 1 slice at a time is to control the butter from actually burning, really. It's a weird method, but it'll actually work. And then, as you see, it's just gonna become creamy. Okay. So I got it on medium-low heat. Okay. And I'm gonna continue this process. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the lobster meat in there. I'm just gonna poach them for about a good 7 minutes. I will not pass 7 minutes. Okay. On the medium-low heat. Continue to put some butter in there as I'm cooking it. Flip it over halfway mark. All right, for my in-shell lobster roll. Okay, so look, it's nice and red because it's been boiled through. Everything inside has been cooked thoroughly. All right, so right in here I got finely chopped onions, orange peppers, red peppers. Okay, some roasted red peppers. Yum, yum, yum. Chop that up for a little bit, real quick for you guys. You remember the cutting technique? If you go here on the board, your knuckles will act like a shield. So it'll prevent you from cutting your fingers, okay? Some parsley. Add some Italian season. Just a tad of olive oil so it won't be so dry. Mix this up a little bit. Take the lobsters and I'm just gonna chop them up. Okay, mix it in. This is optional, but I love to put this. Sazon from Goya. Okay, it has a little saffron in it. Gives it that little red color to it to match the lobster shell. Plus, who doesn't like the taste of saffron? And here you go. You got your in-shell lobster roll. It's tedious, but you know, just try your best to stuff it. Lobster tail number 2. And there you have it, folks. In-shell stuffed lobster roll, I guess, right? Alright guys, so what I did was in a saucepan where I was actually poaching the lobster tails, I still got some of the butter and the flavor in there. So I'm definitely going to reuse that to make my cheese for my lobster mac and cheese. About 2 cups. I'm going to bring that up into a simmer. Once I have that up into a simmer, then I'm going to start adding my butter. Then I'm going to start adding my cheese. Start mixing it. And then alternate butter and cheese. So I'm just going to add some butter for creaminess. Then you just get like regular mild cheddar. Okay, this is your bechamel sauce here. So I got cheddar. I'll throw some pepper jack and some mozzarella. Some pepper jack cheese. Just to give it that little kick to it, not too much. Some fresh mozzarella. So you can see everything is going to start to blend in nice. Okay. All right, so let me start plating these things up. I'm just going to go and take a little bit of the extra cheesy mac and cheese here that I made from scratch. Take a little bit of the lobster tails, mix them right up. Serve it. Okay. Then what I did was I baked. So mashed potatoes. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the rest of the lobster tail meat on top. Put just a sprinkle of the smoked paprika. Garnish it off with some parsley. And there you have it, folks. All right, mashed potatoes with the lobster mac and cheese, and then I just did a regular mashed potato baked and just put some lobster on top of it, just to give it that extra taste. Bon appetit, man. Respect the food, and I'll see you on the next upload.
We're still cooking.